Guys, big breaking news coming out. Please share this video. Today is January 17, 2025. And welcome to the Real GS News channel. Guys, before I start, give this video a big thumbs up. It will actually help to spread this information to many people on YouTube. And once again, thank you for your love and support. Now, emergency declaration day 1. Now, Donald on Monday is sending a loud signal, a message that the border is closed. Emergency declaration. This is a big, massive breaking news here, guys. The first thing he's going to do, he's going to close the southern region. All right, emergency declaration, 3 days away. All right, so once again, Donald emphasis as he enters the Oval Office on Monday, 3 days, is sending a loud message, a signal. It's over. The doors are closed. All right, guys, please share the video. Very, very important that you share this video. And like I said, guys, thank you so much for your support. Also, check out the video I posted today. Donald is moving the inauguration inside. He's not doing it outside. All right, so the information will be in the comments box. Now, would this affect Brandon Biggs' prediction of things hitting the fan in DC? The link, like I said, it will be in the comments box. It will be the only link. I'm going to make it easier for everyone. It will be the only link. Now, notification was not sent out. That's why many of you did not receive that notification video. Big shout out to the platform for not sending the notification. All right, give me a second here. All right, so we're going to start with this one here. That's a loud plane. I live not too far from a military base, and boy, that thing is loud. Give me a second. Just imagine you're living next to an airport and you hear like planes. I mean, you could like feel the vibration, the window and all that. All right, so it says here, Donald is eager to use week 1 emergency declaration to show his supporter he is making good on his signature issue. Now, it says here, but he is unlikely to fulfill some of his biggest and most aggressive day 1 promises, including a large scale of sending millions back home effort and a rapid end to birthright. Now, it says here, given the legal and logistical challenges and the need for Congress to back him up with new laws and funding. All right. So once again, it says here, Donald emphasis as he enters the Oval Office on Monday, 3 days, is sending a loud signal that the southern region is closed to those crossing, and that anyone who is living in our sleeping giant unauthorized, especially those who have committed lawlessness, is not safe from deportate, you know what, according to 7 people familiar with the planning. Now, granted anonymity to discuss private conversation and their expectations about Donald's first week, he'll do so through a slew of executive orders and actions. So there's going to be a lot of EO stuff he's going to sign day 1. Again, executive orders. So launching the process of resurrecting policies from his first term. Shredding, Joe, policy and taking what Donald officials have labeled the handcuffs. So Representative Darrell from California, a member of the Border Security Caucus, said in an interview that Donald would need Congress to enact some of his more wide-ranging promises, and that Donald's upcoming executive actions largely mirrored those implemented during his first term and undone by the Joe. So I haven't seen anything, give me a second here, I haven't seen something that is dramatically new, he said. That's not to say they won't have impact. Supporters and critics alike expect the first week to set the tone for Donald's return to headline immigration policies. The culmination of 4 years of policy planning among his allies to craft actions that they hope can withstand legal muster. Now, the early days of the second Donald administration will serve as a crucial test of this preparedness and set into motion action on the Hill. As Donald top officials, including the incoming border czar Tom and Stephen Miller, the immigration hardline, who will serve as Donald deputy chief of staff for policy, urged the right to back his agenda with legislation as soon as possible. So first day emergency declaration. Everybody needs to get together. We need to get this operation done. The southern region's closed. Let's shut that down. Morales is not, whatever his name is, Alejandro is not in charge. Joe is out of here. I am the new commander-in-chief. The right lawmakers have been meeting with top Donald officials in recent days to strategize and rank and file members see the result of the 2024 November and their majority as a mandate to try to turn Donald's executive actions into law to better withstand court challenges and roll back by a future leader. It says here, a lot of times we are held hostage by the administration who makes a big shift left and then a big shift right and a big shift left, said Representative Tony, Republican, Texas, in an interview. Congress' job in the long term is to solve this problem, to make sure that security, our nation's safety, is at a forefront. Donald's team has been crafting a national emergency declaration. Boom. That's the first thing that's going to pop up, all right, on this first day. Because we, the sleeping giant, we are under ATT, ACK, period. So a move designed to unlock additional authorities and resources to follow through on the incoming Donald's promise to secure the Southern and deport millions. All right, according to 4 of the people. Now, once again, Donald's initial swath of executive orders will also signal the end of catch. And you know what? Put an end to that. The release of the new ones into our sleeping giant community while they await their court hearings, which 99.9% of them don't appear to court. And I can't believe we have something like that in law. And they laughing at us. All right, so and expand a fast-tracked operation to send back authority known as expedited removal. Now, he is also expecting to forge ahead with directing an agency to begin the process of restoring remain in that land. A first-term policy that require asylum seekers to wait in that land, Mexico, for their cases to be processed. And his team is still deliberating a designation of the And here's the thing, guys. I don't know if people remember this, but I don't forget. Donald and others have also said that they will go to biblical war with this group right here. Boom. All right, where is it? Right here. You see that? I'm not going to say that name, but yeah, it's going to be big. The Donald is going to declare a emergency declaration, and yeah, that will activate the National Guards and some of the other stuff. Now, I'm not saying first day we're going to go to a biblical war with them groups, but Donald's keeping an eye on them groups. Don't forget that. All right, so it says here, the Donald is not expected to attempt reinstate a public health authority known as Title 42 in its early weeks, as it would take time for officials to determine whether there's another issue they could use to justify the measure. Hopefully there's not another 2020 event. The Title 42 allowed the agents to immediately expel many on public health grounds, but transition officials are planning measures that would go beyond June border crackdown, further restricting asylum outside of official ports of entry. according to 5 of the people. Now, the Justice Department is also expected to have a hand in the incoming efforts to clamp down on asylum, as Donald transition officials work to avoid the same legal pitfalls from the first administration. The officials have also been crafting an executive order to end birthright citizenship by excluding the young ones of undocumented, and short-term visitors to the sleeping giant from the right to citizenship by birth that is established under the 14th Amendment. It remains unclear how sweeping the action will be, and while it could still come next week, the people familiar with the planning note that the administration may hold off given the anticipated court challenges and varying legal opinions on the matter among the right. So Donald transition did not respond to a request for comment. Now, the immigration advocates and civil rights groups, as well as blue state attorneys general, are in wait and see mode ahead of next week, ready to analyze Donald executive orders and issue legal challenges. Already, they prepared to respond to efforts to end birthright citizenship, any misuse of military troops on the domestic soil, attempts to force local or state law enforcement to do the job of the federal gov, or any actions that deny people's right to the constitutional right to due process. Donald transition officials expect many of the president-elect's early executive action to face immediate legal challenges and are preparing to respond. We should expect that they're going to do everything they can to follow through on their threat, said Kika Matos, president of the National Immigration Law Center, a pro-immigration group, and so the rights, skipping all this name here, are preparing for and anticipating that they will try to carry out every single warnings. Now, the question for us is, what is constitutional and what is unconstitutional? Well, one thing I tell you guys is that the Constitution was for the sleeping giant and for the sleeping giant alone. That says it all. Those that's coming into the sleeping giant illegally, again, that does not apply to them. All right. It says here, but immigration advocate also recognized the steep climb Donald faces as he looks to implement his sweeping agenda, particularly when it comes to mass operations sending millions back home. Now, here's the thing. Those that's coming to the sleeping giant illegally, again, those are lawbreakers, so you have to send them back. Those that come to the sleeping giant legal, that's, they are allowed to come to our sleeping giant, period, because that's how we came through that same process. So given that tent facility for sending many back can cost over $400 a night, they are quickly going to burn through billions of dollars in this operation, said Kerry, the co-executive director at the Immigration Hub. I'm going to skip all that name. So even just the bill that the Senate is considering this week will cost ICE tens of billions of dollars. Don't worry, we could send a bill to Joe. And we could send a bill to the leader of Ukraine. Ukraine? We could send a bill to him. Hey, remember that money you said you was going to pay us back? Here's a bill. Pay that amount. Thank you. Guess what? It ain't going to happen. They're not going to pay it. They're not going to pay it. Once again, Donald will move quickly to undo a slate of Joe policy, including rolling back a directive from Homeland Security Alejandro that established the enforcement priorities for which immigrants to deport, with an emphasis on people who warning national security and public safety. It directed ICE officers to learn the totality of the facts and circumstances about the criminal conviction before deciding whether to send someone rather than relying solely on convictions as a basis for deportation. You know what? They'll also likely move to deactivate the CBP One App program set up to allow many to schedule an appointment to seek asylum via a mobile phone application, several people said. Donald will end the Joe parole program for some residents of, look at this country, Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. It was introduced by Joe to discourage from trying to cross the southern illegally, offering a way far more than 500,000 from these lands to enter the Sleeping Giant legally, as long as they had been vetted and had a Sleeping Giant-based sponsor. Now, Donald is expected to end a similar program for Afghan, as well as family reunification process for migrants from another slate of lands. Well, man, Donald's going to have to clean up the mess. Cleaning up the mess of Joe. Wow. As the Donald looks to launch perhaps the Donald-elect most notable campaign promises, the mass operation sending millions, it will use the first week emergency declaration to dust off agreements reached under the 287 program that allows states and local agencies to act as immigration enforcement agents, four of the people said. They also plan to send a warning message to sanctuary cities. Ooh. Emergency declaration with an emergency message. Oh, man. They also plan to send a warning message to sanctuary cities, likely with an executive order that outlines their priorities for combating cities and states that refuse to help, and a federal G with immigration enforcement. Man. But even as the administration looks to aggressively roll out its initial slate of executive action, there will be no shortage of challenges facing the White House. Even allies expect his operation to be gradual, much different from day one. Rapid transition, he promised, on the trail. You're not going to see historic numbers in month one. You start to see a steady increase. And then it keep building and building, said a person familiar with incoming administration planning. Now, from legal to resource challenges, the pressure will shift to Congress and fast. Donald's team will need more resources to find, detain, and remove millions. They promise. And the detention capacity alone will be costly. Lawmakers will have to send money, and the administration will need to hire and train more officers. Look out. Look. The leader is going to take his actions. The other side is going to sue him. Oh boy. He's going to be in litigation on what he does. And we are going to be trying to legislate. And the pressure from inside the right party will only intensify in the weeks ahead. Buckle up. Donald aides have also discussed another travel ban, reminiscent of the ban on entry from citizens of certain Mid-East territory, majority country from his first term, though the process of vetting and determining which lands to include in the list of restricted nations could take time. Now, meanwhile, hardline immigration advocates and MAGA loyalists, including former Donald Chief Advisor Steve, I'm going to skip the last name, are pushing for a temporary moratorium on all immigration, including temporary and travel visa, a discussion complicated by the fight over H-1B visa for specialty foreign workers that divided the party. Elon loves that H-1B. He truly loves it. Miller and Homan have a great grasp on both the deportation the wall security. So that I think is covered by very small guys who know this, said Stephen in an interview with Politico this week. The one I want, that's not going to be the first day, but eventually get there. I want a complete 100% moratorium on all immigration. You know what? All right. So once again, guys, multiple cities are going to get a message starting next week. And emergency declaration will be activated Monday. And first day, they're going to close that door. That's it. Shut it down. Shut it down. I'm not Joe. Close that thing down. That's it. Where's Alejandro? Oh, he's in Europe? Of course he's in Europe. All right, so Tom, take control, shut the region, and that's it. Right now, people are just scattering. When I say people, I'm talking about Joe's people. Man, they're leaving. They're leaving. So again, time is ticking. Tick-tock. Tick-tock. And I'm not talking about the app here. All right, guys, I will keep you updated, but next week, boy, oh boy, he's going to be signing executive order. They're going to be closing stuff down, at the southern region. And multiple, again, sanctuary cities are going to receive messages from the Donald. Get out the way. We are coming in. We are sending the enforcement. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, for those of you that want to give your life to Christ, you can email me. My email is in the description box. Me and my wife are here to help many and to lead many to the righteous path. And that's the path of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Once again, guys, $1 a month Patreon. We get to access to our live stream every Monday. We talk about things that we cannot talk about on the platform. Also, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Put faith and trust in Jesus Christ, for He's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.